Right, golfers, let's get your woggle on. This is a swimming woggle. There's something else we can use. You've got two head covers to replace this. Obviously, not everyone has a woggle. And the reason this is good is because of the curve, and we need you to stop seeing straight lines, and I want you to get better at seeing curves and directing the curves subject to what shots you want to hit. Yeah, stop seeing straight lines. Let's see straight lines via curves. So I'm going to put my golf ball down by the end, like the highest point, like the 0 point of this curve. Just eyeball it. So the ball is opposite that 0 point, which I'm now going to use as my ball position line. Now I've got mine slightly away from the ball. You could move it right up to the ball if you wanted, just so where your shaft of the club isn't hitting it. That's how I would do it, but quad doesn't read because it's in the way of quad's vision. So I've just got mine slightly back so we get the shots, which I want to show you. Now the reason we need to get skilled at seeing curves is there's a few things. On a golf course, there's hardly any straight lines for one. There's nature, which is generally organic curve, not so kind of industrial straight, which makes it hard to see straight lines. And two, our club is doing an arc, it's doing a circle, and it's doing a three-dimensional one, so it's actually going this way. So if you want to get this propped up, you could even use it for these kind of ideas as well. But I just want you to get skilled at using the arc and seeing a curve. Now, I'm not saying my club follows this curve, it doesn't, it's too extreme, it's less of a curve, but I can see that this curve is pointing towards my target line. It's parallel to my target line. So I'm going to use this idea towards me, out to the ball, back towards me, to try and get a zero-ish club path, meaning club traveling straight as I hit the ball. I've got a driver on here, but it's an iron, 0.6 club path, straight on an arc. But I now want to hit some draw shots. So I'm just going to move this ball back 2 inches back. Keep my feet where they are. So I've moved the ball back in my stance. Keep the handle up towards my lead leg, pointing the face right, but now I'm using this part of the curve as my straight line. So my curve now is directed slightly to the right, and then I'm going to swing, hopefully a little right at my face, and get that ball hopefully, drawing back, not quite enough, but that ball has draw on it. Super functional, could play with that all day long. Now you can see probably where I'm going with this. Ball 2 inches further forward now. Keeping my ball position pretty straight. I'm now letting the handle get up towards lead leg, so it's in effect it's straight with the ball. And again, I'm going to hit 0 out here and start returning left. Now you can see this is the premise of a little gentle fade shot. So look at the level of control I'm getting by moving my ball around the circle and not much else. A little bit of a setup change, but a little bit of a understanding what part of the arc you're hitting on to persuade those different shots. It's subtle and it's way simpler than most of you are making it. What you didn't see me do, which is what I see people do on the range, is trying to direct this like this. This just not going to, I mean, this is a snap hook waiting to happen if I can register this. This is like I'm trying to get out of the tree shot, but it's so unfunctional. But that's what I see golfers doing. They're really trying to butcher path, which then leads to these kind of crazy rounded backswings or fades when they start going up here, where it's way, way more subtle than you think. And just simply by learning where your straight lines are via a curve, rather than the parallel lines that we see people put on the ground. Honestly, with students, when you do this, it like blows their head. They're like, oh yeah, that's so obvious that it's actually doing a curve. If I put this club out towards you, it's not just going straight with the camera. It's coming away from the camera. It goes back out to the camera and then it starts coming back in towards me. We're just doing that down on a plane, on an angle. Now, it's not quite as good, so woggles are cheap. Get one for your practice if you haven't already, but head covers have curve on them. So your head covers can be used to do a similar idea. Just place them down slightly rounded and use the knuckle of them, or if you've only got one, you could use the knuckle of this to get your idea of which part of the curvature you're going to hit along. Practicing like this could absolutely move the needle for you in understanding path, direction, strike, those kind of ideas. This video here is helping so many people control their takeaway to do similar ideas, the controlling path. This is helping a lot of people.